The newest Suicide Squad trailer dropped a few days ago, and as I have some interest in the DC Universe, I thought I'd opine a bit on a few things that have been rattling around in my head. Not that the internet wants to hear my opinions, but I feel as though I've got something to contribute. Well, not a whole lot more was revealed as far as plot points, but from what I've read, and from what some others have speculated, this movie is, as far as I can tell, basically a live action Assault on Arkham movie. We saw some Batman scene where he's clinging to the rooftop of a speeding car, and we already know that Suicide Squad and Batman vs. Superman are connected because Zack Snyder said as much in an interview with Empire magazine, revealing that Batman was actually the one to apprehend all the Suicide Squad members. And also, Viola Davis recently revealed that she was contracted for 3 films. While that could mean 3 Suicide Squad films, it could also be that she will show up in the Batman vs. Superman movie and its sequel, or possibly Wonder Woman, or another DC film set for future release, such as Aquaman. In case anyone is unfamiliar, Batman Assault on Arkham was a direct-to-video animated film released back in 2014 as part of the DC Universe's animated original movie series. It was set in the universe of the Batman Arkham video game franchise, presumably to appeal to gamers as the gaming audience makes up a huge number of Batman fans under 30. Not that the Suicide Squad is new, because it's not. Various incarnations of Suicide Squad have existed throughout the DC Universe canon for at least as far back as the 1960s. They've had several self-titled comic book series, all the way from the Silver Age up to the current 2011 New 52 continuity reboot, which, I mean, I'm not crazy about New 52, but they're still around. So, the meat and potatoes of Assault on Arkham, the animated film, revolved around the Joker. I won't give away too many spoilers, because if my hunch is correct, but it's looking like Suicide Squad is borrowing heavily from the animated movie. And you can also really see how many of the gritty character designs are inspired from the Arkham games, which is cool. Speaking of character designs, Joker. He still looks like he fell into a vat of Hot Topic, despite the loud public backlash when that initial image was released. I'm personally not even that turned off by this Joker's overall look. Just the absurd embellishments, like the cap teeth and terrible tattoos. No regrets. I think the new metal Harley Quinn works. I like Margot Robbie so far. She looks appropriate, to me, but her lack of characteristic Harley voice is kind of a bummer. I'm still wondering whether or not they'll slip in a few Mr. J's in there somewhere. Mr. J! That would be cool. Other than that, she seems to be taking her inspiration from some kind of burlesque stripper kind of thing. Licking prison bars and whatnot, which I don't know that I like that, but we'll play it by ear, you know. Undoubtedly, though, they took the Joker a few steps too far. I've been hearing funny shit about how he's getting into character, too. I think at this point, with his look established, our biggest concern is how over the top will he go with this? Will he take it so far absurdist Joker so as not to be compared to Heath Ledger Joker that he makes the Joker too lame to handle? Because it's possible. Trainwreck Joker is highly possible. As everyone already knows, Will Smith is Deadshot, so basically he's just going to be Will Smith as Will Smith. But I was glad to see the full Deadshot costume, at least. A full costume which I imagine he'll only be wearing briefly, or in flashbacks, because, let's face it, Will Smith is a star, and stars in movies need to shine, because it's in their contracts. And just look at Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, how many times that mask came off, like 80 times in those movies, as did Andrew Garfield's, as did Captain America's. So, any excuse to remove the mask, they go for it. They came up with a novel way to show Robert Downey Jr. without his helmet always coming off. So it kind of worked in that regards. At least they came up with a novel solution, but in this case, I have a feeling that helmet's coming right off. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, he never even had any mask at all. They never even costume design wise, it wasn't even considered. Just maskless Wolverine. So it's live action. They tend to focus on star power. So yeah. Coming back to the trailer though, I'm really hoping at the very least we're getting the Assault on Arkham storyline here, because there's a lot of great trailers for a lot of crappy movies. The trailer's good, but it's easy to cut and paste a few badass scenes into 2 minutes with a classic, song behind it, such as Bohemian Rhapsody. Not ripping off the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer mojo at all there with that one. I think they took a page right out of their book, right out of Disney Marvel's book, which is also kind of frightening. But so when you watch it, when you actually watch the movie, the trailer looks awesome. But then when you actually watch the movie, it's just a clunky special effects masturbation fest. At least if they borrow enough from Assault on Arkham, I think it'll be enough to satisfy the fans. Because if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes rating for Assault on Arkham, it's 85%, which is overwhelmingly good. I saw that movie. It was pretty good. I'd rate it a B minus. So to see that come to live action, if they could flesh it out a little more, I think it could be badass. Anything less whelming than that, for the countless millions of dollars that they are no doubt pouring into this, will result in a lackluster affair, which, whatever. Not that I personally give a shit, because they aren't getting my money. I pirate these things almost every time. The big ones I'll go to the movies to see, but in the case of Suicide Squad, there's a high chance that I'll probably pirate the shit. Because the only thing worse than wasting my time is wasting my time and my money. Another foreseeable problem, and this is something that I always mention in my videos reviewing anything comic book related, and that is character overkill. I mentioned it in my Spider-Man 2 video. I mentioned it in some of my X-Men videos, most notably Days of Future Past. This is usually a problem in these movies, and it's not because juggling multiple characters doesn't happen in comics, because it's super common to see that. It's practically the way most comics do business. The problem is when you take a story arc that took place over 3 titles and 21 issues and try to boil it down into a 2-hour movie. Thankfully, the approach Warner Brothers and Zack Snyder are taking is to just plop the audience right into established continuity. But it doesn't negate the fact that most of these characters are new. Even the players the average person knows are new, in the sense that we've never met the Jared Leto Joker. We've never met the Ben Affleck Batman yet. Even though he's going to be in Superman vs. Batman, Suicide Squad's coming out first, and Batman's making a cameo in this movie. So it should be interesting to see how both the studio and David Ayer, whatever the director, decide to handle this. Just how will they handle getting us emotionally invested in everybody? Though I'm not sure all of the Suicide Squad are making it out of this alive. That's a given. So some characters will undoubtedly be given more screen time than others. And the ones they kill off, they won't even give a fuck about writing them up too much. Lastly, these guys are the worst of the worst. These guys are the worst of the worst. But it's rated PG-13? What the fuck is that? What I like about these live-action DC films is that they are not Marvel Disney. That they are not aimed to please 14-year-old girls. Yeah, I said it. Disney Marvel caters to kids. And so apparently the director has gone on record. I didn't know this, but apparently the director has gone on record some time ago as saying that they weren't even going to try for an R rating. The reasoning being that a PG-13 rating will appeal to a wider audience. Frankly, I don't get this argument that R-rated films can't make money or don't appeal to wide audiences. Just this past year, we've had an American Sniper movie that made money, 50 Shades of Grey, Mad Max Fury Road, and they all did well at the box office without trying to cater to, a non-fan base. Why should Suicide Squad be PG-13? My theory is, if anything, a PG-13 rating might actually hurt the film financially. The core fan base might not want to spend money on a movie they think is a watered down piece of shit. I mean, that's a prime reason why I pirate movies, I'll go to putlocker.com or putlocker.cc or whatever the hell web address, they're at currently to avoid being taken down for copyright. So, because I think it's going to be watered down and I think that the studio just produces garbage. I wish it weren't true, but, in this age, it's all about selling toys to kids more than it is making great movies. So, what should be a secondary market makes more money than films these days. Yeah. Go merchandising.